Hello and welcome back to another episode of Two Labs Garage. As you can see, today we're back with the wife's Jeep. And overall this has been a pretty good vehicle. The only real complaints I've had with it are pieces of the HVAC system they're made of plastic and they're no good. And right now I'm experiencing the issue where you turn the heat on and cold air comes out. This is mid-November. That's no bueno. So we're gonna fix it. So I'm letting the Jeep heat up a little bit just to get a good idea what's going on to diagnose. I'll just go ahead and show y'all. Ambient air temperature now, 68, 69 degrees, something like that. So, and the heat is on, and you see what we're pushing out of the ducts. And this is how everything is set. It's actually almost like air conditioning. All right, so I'll let it run a little longer just to get that temperature needle moving a little more, just to give it a fair shake. Yeah, there's no heat coming out of that. Okay, so up under the dash here is where you need to pull this panel off. And there's two Phillips head screws. There's one right there. And the other one's... Where is the other one? The other one is right here, kind of close to that console. Go ahead and remove those. And then you just pull straight down here. And we'll hide that somewhere. Alright, so these two pipes here give a heater core. I can tell you just by touching them, they hot. And anyway, what I do believe is right here, we gotta pull this off. And then somehow or another, there's one of those actuator doors back there. Alright, future me's gonna interject here. I think this cover here is gonna have to come off, and it's just a screw there and a screw over here. And that should give me much better access and keep y'all from fighting the same things I've been fighting here for the past hour or so. So your job will go a little bit smoother. Alright, make that there's 4 screws. There's one right there. And one right there. Then this should come out no problem. Alright, so I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. That is where the part actually is. So I could put that screw back. That was unnecessary to remove. But way up in there, my hands are on it. And yeah, I know it's not coming through that clear. I might go try to get a light and see if I can't make this a little clear. But that's where the actuator is. And sometimes if you're having trouble locating the part, the thing to do is take the new one and you get to see what it looks like. And then you look for something that looks very close to this up in there. Or in this case, feels like this. And that's what you need. Alright, so I'm going to try to show you as best I can, but this right here, that screw needs to come out, and there's a second one up. There's a second one over there that I've already removed. And they're not the easiest things to get to, but I'll show you the tool I'm using here in a minute. And the trick to just being able to lay in the floor is I got a 5-gallon bucket up under my butt, and then my torso's up under the dash. And I'm a big frame fella with long arms. This is not easy to do. This is a good job for a small person, but I'm 6'4", and you can do it if you are a big fella. All right, so I got it disconnected from the vehicle. Now I'm going to need to go and get this harness off. I'm going to need to get a flathead screwdriver to help me with that. And then we'll get it out and transfer this white thing, and well, you'll see. Well, that's looking good. before I dig in, I looked at the terminals and started comparing the two. They're very similar, but they're not exactly the same. Will this one work? I don't know. But I'm looking at the terminal styles. I may have screwed up. Alright, so like I said, not exactly the same, but I'm looking at the mounting ways and all. And the arm transferred no problem. So I'm wondering if this is more of a universal aftermarket one. And it'll still work. So I'm not gonna force it, but if it hooks up, I will stick this back in. Another thing of note is the manufacture date on this is 5/1/17. This Jeep's a 2016. And some reason I'm thinking I remember this issue coming up before while it was still under warranty. So that just gives you an idea these parts are junk. So use an aftermarket with maybe a different design, maybe not such a bad thing. Like I said, it all depends on will this electrical harness clip in. If it does, then I'll use this one. If it doesn't, then I guess I'll have to order yet another one. All right, without the cover on, I took that off as well. That's a cover that just kind of snaps on. I feel like I should be able to remove that as well. I got the screw out, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how it attaches at the top. But there you can see the track, and we do have better access to the mounting areas. So. All right, so I thought it might be easier to mount the little white arm into this right here, because this is what controls the door. The motor turns this way, it does that, goes this way. So anyway, I'm going to snap it back on since I just dropped it and see if mounting the motor works better that way. Literally just a minute ago, I had the motor on there. I went to show y'all how I did it, and everything dropped. So I'm going to see if I can't figure out a way to set this phone and video it for y'all. But keep in mind, if I go out, it's not because I don't love y'all, it's because I'm having a hard enough time doing this by myself without holding a phone. So let's see. There we go. Ah, again. All right, so current situation. I've got it plugged in, and I've got one screw holding it in. Before I get any further, I want to make sure this is working. All right, so definitely move the arm. The fact that I only have one screw in it, I hope that didn't cause me a problem, but we'll find out, I guess. Aren't you falling? There we go. Now let's turn the heat on. There we go. Yeah, I think I definitely need to get that second screw in it. But yeah, we work. That's what I care about. All right, so real quick. Heat on, heat off. All right, she's working. So now I got all this goodly gop here back together. And then what do y'all think about a little test drive? Alright, so it's all back together. Looking good. And we've tested it. Go take it for a test drive though and make sure everything's like it should be. But I mentioned earlier I was going to show you the tool I was using. This little Hyper Tough kit from Walmart is a savior in these. In fact, the actuator on that side, you've got to use the real small or the real short number 2 Phillips bit and use that to ratchet, because that's the only thing that'll fit in there. And it's real tight and you're doing it blind. I did a video on that one and I'll put a link to it out. On this side, I did this, using a slightly longer bit and just had more room on this side. The other convenient things, once I broke it loose, I could basically hand turn them like this, using this as a stubby screwdriver. So that's really the tool way to go. And then I just use this thing to get the dash on. That thing, I was hoping I'd be able to use it, but it didn't fit. Alright, test drive time. Outside air temperature is 62 degrees. Looks like 73 or thereabouts, 71, 73 in the vehicle. Now we're going to try to cook us like a bunch of little lobsters. So honestly, I'm not sure how long this took. I'll have to look at some timestamps on the videos on my phone. But hopefully it'll take you significantly less time by learning the lessons that I learned the hard way from watching my video. It's part of the reason I do try to do my demonstrations from the novice point of view, because I'm not a trained mechanic like the thing at the beginning says. I'm just a guy who loves cars. But I figured out on my own how to do this. And nothing against a professional mechanic making this video, but somebody who does this for a living and gets really good at their craft, they tend to gloss things over that, it's old hat to them, but to somebody who's never done it before, it's really something new. It's a unique challenge. So with me being never having done this before, hopefully that puts that perspective in and helps y'all out a little more than maybe something else. But anyway, to drive around a little more, I want to get this thing up to full operating temperature. I got a little warm earlier, but now I want to get a full heat cycle in this thing, so that's why we're driving around. And I will tell you, just from me having the heat blowing, it's working. It's working very well. In fact, let's see what we got. 138 degrees. $144, 146, 150, 160. So yeah, we got heat now. Whew, that's enough. I'm going to turn it off. I'd appreciate if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot and helps me bring y'all more better content. I enjoy doing these videos, trying to help y'all out, and some of these videos I do just to entertain y'all. I got if this is your first time seeing me, I got a bunch of old cars I work on. I try to get a video out about once every 2 weeks, just because, well, that's why I'm able to get out between balancing work and hobbies and family and all that. So anyway, look forward to seeing y'all again soon. So be good to each other, take care of your projects, and I'll see you again soon.